Fox Carolina is committed to you, and some big news for families of Greenville County Schools today. The district announced masks will no longer be required for students on school buses for the upcoming school year. This comes after a new directive from the State Department of Education for the entire state. Masks inside school buildings were already optional at the end of this past school year after the district offered a waiver giving families that choice.
And Matt Kaufax is here in our newsroom. He talked with the district, Matt, and with some parents to get reaction to this. So what did you learn from the district, and what are parents saying tonight?
Yeah, well, Cody, as you guys mentioned, this was a state directive, but when masks were made optional last year, they had to be worn on most buses still because most buses in South Carolina are owned and operated by the state, which had different guidelines. Now, though, it seems like the two ends, the buses into the classrooms, are tied together. So I asked the district what classrooms are going to look like when school starts now in just a few weeks. For parents like Matthew Spalding, watching his two high school daughters go through a pandemic year was tough.
Everything that I knew and my wife knew growing up, they haven't been able to experience that.
He says he was relieved when the opportunity to remove masks in the classroom came about.
When we were given the opportunity, we jumped on it and signed that waiver because we needed to get something normal.
He told us he's also glad the state, quote, took the leap and has eased restrictions on buses, too.
I'm glad they're starting out the year this way. I hope it just keeps going.
For parents who might be concerned about this, there's nothing stopping you from having your child wear a mask.
Tim Waller with Greenville County says mask waivers from last year making them optional in classrooms will carry over to this one. We also asked him about any additional restrictions that may still be in place.
We believe we're going to start the school year in about as normal of a fashion as we've seen in a couple of years. We hope things are going to be restored to what parents and their children remember it being a couple of years ago.
He says the district is currently mulling over plans and will announce a final decision by late July or more likely early August.
I'm just simply talking about a formal announcement about what restrictions, if any, will remain.
Parents like Spalding say they know what they would like to see.
For me, I think the biggest thing is just that social distancing. I mean, the kids.
Right, so we still do not know what other restrictions may be in place right now, but Waller says the big wild card in all of this are those variants that we mentioned earlier in the newscast. He said they are tracking viruses like Delta just to make sure that they don't become more of an obstacle. Now, to be clear, they are not basing any of their plans for the start of school on these variants. He's just saying they're monitoring them because they are now classified as a variant of concern by state and national health agencies. And he also says they will, if necessary, switch things up. They have that infrastructure if it becomes more of a factor later on in the school year. Guys, back to you.